Okay, this is in reference to today, which is July 28th, in response to Bill O'Reilly's Talking Points memo in reference to the marijuana laws. Again, I can't quite figure out, Billy, why you're so against marijuana laws. Is it because you're racist, or because you just want to see people stay in jail? You'd like to see the narco-terrorists continue to make more money? I don't get an understanding of this in any way, shape, or form. First thing I want to point out is you used a way to justify the fact that it's not racist by the fact that 63% of Hispanics in federal court are the ones that go to prison. But again, you used federal court, you didn't use state court, you didn't use local court. Marijuana laws and almost all drug laws in general have been very racist from the very, very beginning for a long period of time. White people get it off very easy. Black people don't get off very easy at all. That's been a given for a long, long time. I myself have not had to drink a drug in almost 32 years. But it doesn't take much to remember how much devastation that caused. Many of my brothers and sisters in the black community suffered far, far worse than I did. Now, getting back to, you went back into the 1980s in New York City before Rudy Giuliani came in, and what was going on with the murder rate in New York City at that particular point in time, which at that particular point in time was about 30 murders per 100,000 population. And of course, you didn't bring up the fact that right now in Central America, Guatemala, Honduras, one of those countries or both of those countries have murder rates that far exceed what was going on in New York City during the 1980s. One of those two is over 50 per 100,000. The other one is well over 30 per 100,000. So here we have laws designed to keep people in jail. You not wanting those laws to be repealed. You saying that people can smoke marijuana in their own house, you don't care. But if you're going to sell it, then you need to go to jail. So where does that go from? And we have a tremendous problem with drug cartels in this country. Why not make the easiest drug, not the easiest drug, that's a bad way to put it, but just marijuana, let's just say just marijuana itself, be legalized. Let the states take over, let the states get tax money, let it be grown in the states. We should get hemp back to it, by the way. But let them grow it, let them tax it, and let them monitor it. And I believe already that in Colorado, the crime rate has actually gone down since marijuana has been legalized in that state. Of course, it would take a longer period of time to fully decide if that was a cause and effect. But again, I don't understand why you continually want people to go to jail, even if they're just distributing a small amounts of marijuana. And you have this lock 'em up mentality. And, you know, it's like you want the drug cartels to keep doing what they're doing. You want people to stay in jail. You want to throw the books at people. But for people to smoke it in their own house just a little bit at a time, who are you to tell them what to do? Very, very conflicting, Bill. I don't get a grasp of it at all, but it does. There's always been a racial element to the drug laws, whether it be the opium laws, whether it be the marijuana laws, cocaine laws. When that was going on in New York City, just by the way, those were basically turf wars that were going on in New York City in terms of the cocaine and crack cocaine that was going on then, that were establishing turf wars. You know, in Central America, it's even worse. There's much, much more lawlessness, where 13-year-old kids are killed if they don't join a gang. So, but you don't want to help out down there either. That's another topic for another day. But just to stay on the marijuana laws, I don't grasp it, Billy. I don't see you're not even coming remotely close. I know you're appealing to your audience. At the same time, this has been a blight on America. We need to get rid of this blight. You know, again, if you tax marijuana, you can put more money into rehabilitation. If people need rehabilitation, there will always be addicts. There will always be addicts. And we will always have a need to help rehabilitate them. And to throw them in jail for selling small amounts or carrying small amounts of marijuana is not solving the problem. Never did solve the problem. Never will solve the problem. Again, very bad blight on America. We need to move on from this. And that's a conservative, someone who wants things to be the way that they've been, and that is to be racist against black people and people of color, because of small amounts of marijuana.